their new book, Saga. I kind of want to start out though with you, Fiona, because not everybody may be familiar with your background. And so why don't you tell us some of the stuff you were doing before this?
I've been doing comics since 2006, roughly. I started doing indie comics. My first book was sort of a horror title called Done to Death that I did in my last year of art college. From there I moved on to just doing various little freelance jobs and covers, and I did a lot of work for Wildstorm, when it was still around.
Yeah, you did those awesome DV8 covers.
I did DV8 covers of Wildstorm. I did an Authority spin-off called Hawksmoor, another horror series called North 40. Did several covers for a bunch of different titles. The last series that I did prior to Saga was called Mystery Society. That was with Steve Niles at IDW. This and that.
And you did some coloring work too, right?
I did, yeah. That was my first image job. I colored like 3 issues of Proof for my friend Riley.
Very cool. What about you, Brian? What did you do before
A lot of drinking. I guess a lot of people know why The Last Man. That was a book that I used to write in Expo. Runaways and so yeah, I've been around forever, but I've never really done something for an image before, and I've always wanted to. So cool to be here.
And how did that come about?
Well, I mean, you've been pestering me for a while, and my friend Jay Ferber, who writes Your Death, a great image book and noble causes, he's been at Image forever, and as he's seen me do books for other companies, he's always said, why are you not coming here? Just total creative freedom, total with true creator ownership with you and the artist. Why would you not do this? And yeah, so I think after Vectron ended, I sort of thought maybe I'll do another graphic novel or something. But I really missed monthly comics. I was eager to get back to an ongoing series, and felt like glad that people are on board. So yeah, I think Image is really the only game in town if you're going to do create your own ongoing series. There's nowhere else to do.
Now, I mentioned last night that when we did the panel together in San Diego last year, you told me you guys had never met before.
We met 30 seconds before we got up on stage, and as we were going to book together, so yeah, it's very surreal.
Right. So, Fiona, how did Brian get you involved in Saga?
I guess there was a lot of behind-the-scenes talk where he and Steve Niles were sort of discussing artists, like, you're looking for someone for your project.
Well, yeah, I've been familiar with Fiona stuff, particularly Hawksmoor. I remember I get that DC is nice enough to send me everything for free, and so anytime I see art I like, I throw it in my big drawer of people that I hope to work with someday. So Fiona had made her way into the drawer already, but I hadn't thought about her for Saga until I talked with Steve Niles and said, I'm doing this sort of big epic fantasy sci-fi thing, and he said, oh, well, Fiona Staples can draw anything, she'd be great for that, and so it's really, I have to give him credit. So yeah, it was me tracking down Fiona.
As far as I knew, it was just like totally out of the blue. Just had an email from Brian came on in my inbox one day. Hey.
I'm not sure she'd say yes. It's, I mean, I thought her art was incredible, and the fact that she hadn't already been, gobbled up to an exclusive Marvel or DC was just insane to me. So I just thought, this is nuts. So I'm very happy you said yes.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, just from my perspective, it's like when we were talking to you, Brian, and I didn't know who the artist was going to be initially, and you're like, oh, it's going to be Fiona. And I was insanely jealous of the fact that you did Mystery Society with Steve, because I was like, oh, this is so awesome. And I really loved those Gods and Monsters covers you did for Brian's DV8 book. So yeah, it was like the coolest thing ever when I heard that. So.
Yeah, it was just the thing I like best about Fiona stuff that I think is similar to Tony Harris, Peter, Adrian Alfona, that she doesn't look like anyone else. That it doesn't look like she's trying to beat this guy's style. It's just so uniquely your own. So.
I'm glad you saw my stuff when you did.
Did you going
If you
through a
met me
phase?
like 5 years ago,
Who
I
were you
would
trying
look like
to
an
be?
Ashley Wood clone.
That's very interesting. Well, it doesn't show through there.
Gotta start somewhere.
Hey, so we've got the cover for #1 up, and what do you want to talk about? Because it's like, you have kind of a specific kind of like mission statement with the covers. Do you want to talk about that?
I don't know, you want to start?
Okay, well, the concept is Brian's idea. He said, let's just have a nice, simple, straightforward shot of our stars, of the family, Marco and Alana, and their baby Hazel. And Alana should be breastfeeding the baby with a gun in her other hand, gazing out defiantly at the reader. And Marco has, his arm protectively around her. So, yeah, Brian, you described it in pretty good detail, like.
Yeah, but it wasn't beautiful in my head. Like, that's so beautiful. Eric, I don't know the same, when I opened up this file and saw it, I was like, oh my God, this book is going to work, and it's going to work so well. It was just so exciting. And yeah, I guess I know the breastfeeding has caused some controversy, but I guess I sort of wanted to let people know, even before the first page, this book might not be for you. So that's okay. Just leave it on the rack if it's not for you, because it's really going to be for some other people, and they're really going to want a story like this. So I hope that's what that cover
I've
conveys.
got so many nice emails from moms.
Oh yeah, that's really nice.
Definitely a comic for moms.
That's exact. Comic for your mom.
Okay, let's take a look at the second cover.
This is where things get a little dark.
But again, that's another cover. I love so much. I've never seen a cover quite like that. I just think it's so striking and so creepy, just seeing this little baby hand. And we'll find out exactly who that other hand belongs to in the second issue.
Yeah, kind of the cool thing that you guys will probably see at some point in the future, but it's like before we get these finished covers, Fiona sends in thumbnails that are kind of equally impressive, because it's like you get them and you're like, oh man, it's gonna look so cool. But yeah, let's see #3 now.
So this is another new character that we'll be meeting. But I love, again, seeing a cover with that much sort of viscera on it. I just love it. Hanging out with this young person. So I'm sorry to just tease, but you'll have to wait and find out exactly who this alien ghost girl is and how she relates to our story.
And let's go to #4. This is my favorite one yet.
Yeah, well, this is a world debut. I don't think we've shown this anywhere yet. But yes, this is a character that we'll meet in the first issue named The Will. And he's a freelancer, they're called. In our universe, bounty hunters are called freelancers. And he's got a sidekick who we'll be learning a lot about too. But I just love that 4 covers, and they're so different, and there's just something so new on each of them. I'm excited for you to find out about this guy's cape, and what he's smoking, and what his story is.
It's not really smoking at all, actually. It's like you actually can't do that in some comics nowadays.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, even at Marvel, when I was working on the Hood, I remember there was a cover that we had smoking on, and we had to take it off. And I was like, he's a terrible character. He's an awful person. I'm not saying you should smoke, but so yeah, that's another great part about being an image, just like breastfeeding and smoking and stuff. When we're going to do the next cover, we're really running out of buttons to push. But yes, those are our first 4 issues, I think. Yep.